Oh my God. Is this what self-love is like? All right, so before I show this picture, first off, shout out to oh my God, of course I'm in streamer mode, so I can't see anything. Oh my God, you killed this thing. I can't see the full name because I'm in streamer mode in Discord, and God, I hate streamer mode. Disable streamer mode, please. Thank you. Shout out to Nona. So for context, this dress was going around Twitter, and I jokingly said Fem CyYu's new outfit, right? This was the outfit, and I was like, you know, I even had a conversation because people were like, why Fem CyYu and why not 2.0 CyYu? And I was like, I mean, fair enough. I mean, that's what, I mean, that's what the heels are for, you know? You know what I mean? Like, that's totally fair. You know, it could work either way. You know, I don't, you know, did we forget Fen CyYu's sci-fi? No, I didn't forget. I'm just so used to saying Fen CyYu. No. You said them? Thanks, Stella. But yeah, so this was the dress, you know, could go either way. But Nona drew this. Is this self-love? I fucking love this.
Literally,
this is hot as fuck.
Victory was horrible, but figuratively,
bro.
Num 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 num.
Now imagine, chat. Now imagine if me this version with that dress, the long hair CyYu. Hold up, I'd kill that shit. What a woman. Yowza. So this could be this outfit, this model, this drawing could be on a gamer subs if you use !GG and use the code CyYu. But yo, no, this fan art goes crazy. No, that's awesome. That's so cool. That's so sick. Dude, you guys are so talented. I haven't had a chance to update the fan art video up here in the corner in a bit because I like to let it roll for a bit before I update it. So then there's time and that kind of stuff. So, but I am glad you guys are super talented. Thank you so much for all the fan art. I really do appreciate it. You guys are really cool. Yeah, there's a lot of really cool fan art. A lot of dark stuff. Someone apparently made a blanket of some kind. Dear Lord. But yeah, thank you guys. Is the Discord public? It is! !Discord, and you should be able to join CyYu's booth, is what we're calling it. Okay. That's fair. Oh man. Okay. Okay. So, you guys ready for the dad story? Are you guys ready for the dad story? I feel like we've, you know. All right, let me find the right music for this dad story. Not that one. There's got to be something goofy. Hold on. That's appropriate. Oh man, that's very appropriate. So, for those of you who don't know, the reason I didn't stream yesterday, and I originally wasn't going to stream today, was because my dad was in town. You know, I was hanging out with my dad. My dad was here for like 24 hours, maybe a little longer. You know, and I was like, oh, okay. I wasn't sure what to expect because, like, you know, it's complicated, especially when I was like, oh boy, here we go. I'm Hispanic. I grew up with, like, you know, parents can be very judgmental. It doesn't matter if you're Hispanic. It doesn't matter if you're, you know, whatever your ethnicity, race, etc. But growing up with my dad, if you guys have heard the stories, this man has laughed at me for saying the word hell in middle school, and then cursed at me in Spanish. It was really funny. He's also, like, there have been so many instances with my dad. Like, anytime, I was really expecting to talk more about taxes this weekend, or this past 24 hours. Thank God we didn't. We, like, talked about some finances stuff and how I need to get a financial advisor, and I was like, okay. That's the most adult conversation I had. But gotta be honest. Like, you know how they say, like, it's like, oh, yes, you're a fusion of your parents or whatever. Like, some people say that, like, you know, you take after your mother, you take after your father, you take after your parent, you know. After the past 24 hours, I don't know if my dad got patch notes along the way, but I think I know where I get some of my tendencies from. Like the kind of person that I am, like the kind of humor that I am. No, he did not see the tattoo. I want, before I continue, no, he did not see the tattoo. I feel like that, I feel like he would have ripped my skin off if you saw that fucking thing. But I've learned a lot about my dad in the last 24 hours. It's very interesting. I learned more about myself in the last 24 hours. Because a lot of the things I was like, oh yeah, I probably get that from my mom. Oh, I get it from my mom. I get it from my mom. I get my sense of humor from my dad. So, thank you for the sub. A lovely fan gave me a frame, 2 frames technically. They gave me a frame of me and Scylla with our animals, like in a cute little drawing. But alongside that, they gave me a frame of the sushi joke, right? If you guys don't know the sushi joke, you must be new here. It's, what did the sushi say to the bee? Wasabi. That's the joke. I've never told my dad that joke. So I'm showing him the house. And I go to the bathroom for like a second. So he's walking around and he's seeing. And I have this frame literally under, like, in our, like, dining room, right? And he sees it as I come out of the bathroom. And I was like, oh, hey, what's up? And he's laughing. I was like, what? He's like, wasabi. And I was like, yeah. He's like, that's a good joke. And I was like, yeah, I know it is. I was like, what? I was like, okay, sure. Okay. So, you know, like I picked him up and, you know, I drove him to my house and then, you know, we're exploring the house. He's like, show me the tour, show me the tour. I was like, sorry, it's like a bit of a mess. Like, you know, we're still not finished setting up like the place and, you know, and all this stuff. And me growing up, my dad would always complain when the bed was not made, right? Like if I didn't make my bed growing up, even when I go to visit, like for the holidays, he'd be that guy. He's like, really, make your bed. It looks like a disaster in here. So I remember I was like, oh man, this is gonna be like my room times like 5 because it's a house. And I you know, he's looking around the house and he's like, wow, this is a really big house. This is great. This is great. And I was like, yeah, thanks. Sorry for the mess. And he's like, it's fine. And I was like, what? What do you mean it's fine? And he's like, yeah, I think the only thing you should be worried about is this cable. But other than that, it's like, you know, a house is a work in progress. And I was like, what? Bro, so the cable he's talking about, which I absolutely agree with him. It's an Ethernet cable. So our router is in the 2nd floor and we have an Ethernet cable going over like a balcony, and it's not like properly like, you know, covered up or like attached to the wall with like pins or anything. It's just dangling there. So, and he's like, yeah, this could be like dangerous, especially with your pets. And I was like, no, that's totally fair. I agree. And the reason we have it like that is just because we have the booth downstairs, so we need to have the booth directly connected to the router, right? So I was like, oh no, this makes sense. Like I agree with him, and I've wanted to do that for a while. So I was like, yeah, that's all right. At least tape it down with that. What do you want me to ruin my walls with duct tape? No, I'm just gonna hire a guy and he's gonna just like pin it to the wall. Like it'll be fine. Fucking duct tape. Dog tape. What is wrong? Anyway. So, you know, he's like looking around and he's like, oh, this is nice. There's so much space. And, bro, just get cable cut. That's fine, but I'm not gonna use fucking duct tape. Anyway, Goddess, thank you for the 8 months. And then, and I know we have to do it. We just haven't had the time, right? Anyway, I'm showing my dad around. He's like, oh, there's a bathroom here. There's a bathroom here. One of the funniest things, I warned him. I was like, oh, by the way, right now, we had to get our newest cat spayed, Liru. So we've had to use the upstairs bathroom to shower and all that stuff. And he's like, oh, how come? Well, she likes to jump a lot. So we locked her in our shower. And she's like, what? And he's like, what? So I don't have a picture of this, but we have like a really nice shower that has like a door and you can close it into it. Hayden put like a little kid, one of those like, I don't know, baby locks. So then they can't get in. So Hayden put a baby lock on the shower door. So then she couldn't escape because this cat's smart. She can push the door with her cone head and she'll just be able to walk around and jump around, and we don't want that, right? So Hayden really made a whole setup, put the kitty litter, put her bowl in there and all this stuff, you know, blankets and stuff. So then the cat can just chill in our shower. But we're not able to use the shower downstairs now because, you know, that's her little space for now. And I show my dad and he's like, oh, hello. She's like, meh, meh. And I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna close that. And we go about our merry way. And he's like, oh, this is really cool. I show him my tonal, I show him everything. And then he's like, okay, this is really nice. We have this nice gaming table that we use to make puzzles. Oh, great. Hayden sent me a picture of, well, that's the kitty. So this is Liru right now. Hold on 1 second, chat. This is what Liru looks like right now. Yeah, she has a little cone head because she had to get spayed, so making sure that she doesn't bite on the stitches. Yeah, little baby. Thank you for the sub. But yeah, Hayden is telling me to wait, so I'm assuming they're taking a cone of shame. Yeah, it's really funny because at first she hated it, and then eventually she just got, oh, perfect. So Hayden found a picture with Apollo trying to get in her shower. So check this out. So there's the kid lock. So she can't get It's just so funny, dude. It's but yeah, no, it's like a really nice shower. But so she still has plenty of space in there. It's not like just a block. It's like it keeps going. So oh my god. But yeah, no, Michaela, you don't understand. This cat is too smart. She almost got out of that cone, so she's too smart. Anyway, I'm showing my dad around, and this gaming table, we like do puzzles and all this stuff in it, and we can remove the top and all that stuff. Aw, thank you for the subby.
Kitty jail.
Yeah, kitty jail indeed. And we have this table that we can remove the top, so it's like, and then there's like, it indents inward. I don't know how to describe it, but it has like a hollow space at the center of the table, so then you can play like D&D, you can do like puzzles and all this other stuff. He's like, wow, this is really cool. This is a really cool table. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I just want to get like a box or something so that when we put the pieces, they're not just on the ground, you know? He's like, wow, this is really cool. He really liked the kitchen. A fan gave me a calendar of dad jokes, which is really funny. And then he's like, well, show me upstairs. What's upstairs? And I was like, oh, sure. Hey, thank you, Onyx, for the gifted sub. And I was like, yeah. We go upstairs. That's where the guest room is. And we go to the guest room. Now, for those of you who don't know, my lovely partner, Hayden, they play D&D and work for a company known as Nat 19. Well, the company is not called Nat 19, but the Twitch channel they work on is Nat 19. There's a lot of D&D stuff, you know, and oh, it is called Nat 19. I thought it was Project. Oh, never mind. Anyway, well, there you go. Nat 19, right? Perfect. Here, let me just pin that because this will be important to the story. You know, if you don't know, Nat 19 is a bunch of D&D characters and all this stuff, and they recently had a Kickstarter that went really well. And they have a store where, you know, they sell a bunch of different merchandise. They have dice, they have miniatures, and all this other stuff. This is important to the story, I swear. So one of the things that was part of the Kickstarter was, and I'm not making this up, Booba Mouse Pads. We counted how many are in our house because Hayden is in charge of like taking stock and making sure there's plenty for the Kickstarter, and if there are any left over, you know, we could just find out. Like, you know, they could just sell it on the store later on. So if you want one of these Booba Mouse Pads, you can probably eventually find them on nat19show.com. Chat, there are 270 Booba Mouse Pads in that guest room where my dad is sleeping. Now, they were all in boxes. They were all in boxes, so he wouldn't have known. He wouldn't have known. He wouldn't have known. However, Hayden was taking stock, so a few of them were out.
Oh no.
So I'm showing him the guest room, you know. It's not crazy big. There's a bed in there and all this other stuff. And there's a desk. And he's like, oh, why is there a desk? I was like, oh, you know, there's a desk here because of like all this other stuff. You know, like we had a friend over. This was Hayden's old desk. And he's like, oh, it's one of these standing ones. I'm like, hey. We had my old TV down in there. And then, you know, I saw the mouse pad and I'm like trying to stand in front of it. I'm just like, yeah, the TV, yup, the TV, yup. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what to do with the TV. I'm thinking about putting it on the wall. And he's like, oh yeah, you can get like a mount, you know, that can turn and stuff. And I'm like, oh, not a bad idea. That's pretty smart. Wow. And just before we leave, you know, he sees him. He's like, what's that? Why is there? Those are titties. I'm not kidding. He goes, mijito, las tetas. And I'm like, you know, Hayden works for a company. I'm not even kidding. I threw Hayden under the bus so fast. I threw Hayden under the bus so goddamn fast. And yeah, it was the funniest shit. Hayden. Oh man. Yeah, it was really funny. And he's like, here's the craziest part, chat. My dad didn't question what they were. He picked one up and he goes, it's a mouse pad. It's for your hand. And I was like, yeah. How did you know? I was like, what? Huh? What the fuck? My dad doesn't know shit about like anime or like, you know, merchandise with anime. Body pillows, he's got nothing. He knows nothing. But he knew about this. For context, this is what they look like. These are the designs, right? This is the, hold on. These are the designs of the Booba Mouse Pads, right? Because these are based off D&D characters that Nat19 has. So we have Hayden's D&D character, Aviana. And then the other two. Who cares about the other two? But, bro, like, it's so goddamn funny to me. The ones he saw were Avi, Hayden's character, and then this one with the pink hair. And so it's not, so mind you, this is what it looks digitally. This is what they look like in person. That's what they look like in person. So then my dad's like, son tetas, they're titties. And I was like, yeah, you know, there's a market for them. And he's like, I bet I'd buy them. And I was like, what? And he's like, I I
The taste
mean,
of victory was horrible, but figuratively, nom 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 nom.
bro, he said it with his full chest. This man said, it's like, yeah.
I'm going to pound you until
That
you
is
beg
not,
for mercy.
that is not what he said. He literally was like, Mijito, if I had known there were mouse pads like this, I would buy them left and right. Beautiful women and tetas, absolutely. And I'm like,
Ha! No.
what? What? So then he put the mouse pad down, and then we went about our merry way. I showed him the rest of the office. I showed him my office. He's like, wow, this is really nice. I was like, I'm still on the mouse pad shit, Dad. I'm still on that. And then and we went to Hayden's office. And yeah. Did you offer to sell him one? Yeah. I was like, you want one? And he's like, nah, maybe next time. And I was like, what? Bro, I am glad I don't have any of mine in this house. Yeah. 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 Anyway, so I showed him my office. And he's like, this is really nice. I was like, yeah, I want to do like certain things. He's like, ah, you know, it comes with time. And
time to do dual CYuVt wave.
I don't think it's time to do duel. And then and we went downstairs and we chilled and we talked about stuff. And the big part of the story was the mousepad thing. But bro, just talking to my dad, like, we're talking about like ideas that I want to do for the house. And one of them, I originally said it was Hayden that said the idea, but it turns out it was Nazi. At our front, when you walk into the house, there's like a bit of a balcony right above, and Nazi apparently had given us the idea of putting like a mural of Statler and Waldorf like up there. If you don't know who Statler and Waldorf are, I'll show you who Statler and Waldorf are. Now, if any of you know me, I'm a big fan of the Muppets. This is Statler and Waldorf. They're the old men in the balcony. These guys. And I was like, yeah, like I was thinking like apparently I originally had said Hayden, but it was Nazi's idea. And I was like, yeah, we could do like a mural of them and me do a piece to Hayden. I was like, yeah, and then like right here in between, we could put the Eye of Sauron, you know, like Lord of the Rings style. Because I think that'd be kind of cool, you know? And I still want to do that. And when I told my dad, the way I described it to my dad, I was like, yeah, like the idea is to put like, you know, like, the balcony from the Muppets. And he's like, oh, with the old men? Yeah, I love the Muppets. And I was like, what? What? I was mega confused. I was like, you like the Muppets? Since when? I'm like, what the huh? So, just learning a lot about my dad in the past 24 hours. Dad jokes, Muppets. He also likes titties, apparently. Like, I don't know. Like, fucking... It's weird, guys. It's weird learning about your dad. You were just his clone. I will say, when I dropped him off today, he did do like the exact same mannerism I did. Cause he was like, hey mijito, if you ever need anything, like call me on the phone. Like, you know, like I mean, I have like 30. God, I'm old as fuck. 30 years more of experience in this world than you. I was like, thanks, Dad. Huh. So, yeah, it was pretty funny. Yeah. So yeah, goes to show, yeah, I really am my dad's kid. So, your dad is nice. He's also funny. I'll give him that. Like, yeah. So, yeah. That was my dad's story. Where, he saw some Booba Mouse Pads and it wasn't the reaction I expected. I was waiting for him to be like, ¿Qué es esta pendejada, mijito? Like, what the fuck? Like, I was waiting for him to... this whole trip, I was expecting my dad... Look, love my dad. I was expecting him to be, like, a little judgmental about my house. A little, like... It's like, oh, your dishes aren't clean. Oh, your laundry isn't done. Ah, your house is a mess. Your taxes, like, blah, 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 blah. But I was like, wow. He respected my home. This is weird. Oh, there was one other funny thing. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Hola, Big Pie. There was one funny thing. So we went to a steakhouse, right? So my dad was like, yeah, so there's I've been told we should try Korean barbecue or whatever, because he's never done it. And I was like, sure, we could try that. Or we could go to this steakhouse, because I know that my dad really likes steak. And I was like, hey, there's this place. It's really good. He's like, okay. And I was like, personally, as my favorite steak, you have to order it. And he's like, really? I was like, really? No, not fogo de chao. No, no. Happy birthday, homie. Oh, thanks, MP. You're the first person to tell me happy birthday today. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's your birthday? No, it's not my birthday. They just happen to be the first person to tell me it's my birthday. So, you know. You know damn well it's not. Yeah, I know damn well it's not my birthday. They just happen to be the first ones to congratulate me. Don't worry, bro. I got you. Thank you. Thank you. You know, it's just nice to hear it sometimes. My birthday's November 15th, fellas. You guys are going to forget anyway. You guys are going to ask me the same damn question. Anyway, back to my story. So, me and my dad, and Hayden, we all go to this steakhouse, you know, because I've taken Hayden before, and it's, you know, I really like this place. The sides are good. The steak is nice. And the appetizers are okay. And my dad was like, what should we all order? Like, what should we get? And I was like, well, we could try the prosciutto because Hayden isn't too much into fish. And he's like, okay. You think that's enough? And I was like, yeah, trust me. The side portions are big. The appetizers were really small. So we ended up ordering the scallops as well. Thank you for the raid, you know. So, you know, we got this prosciutto, this mozzarella prosciutto thing. We got, then me and my dad ate the scallops because Hayden isn't much into scallops. They're bacon wrapped scallops, by the way. Sorry, have to specify. They're delicious. And then then my dad's like, what do you want to get? And I was like, you have to get the Cajun ribeye. The Cajun ribeye. He's like, really? And I was like, trust me, you'll be thinking about it for weeks. He's like, okay. There's a restaurant called Morton's, by the way. I'm not sponsored. It's just good steak and good food. So I was like, okay. We all got Cajun ribeyes, right? Me, my dad, and Hayden. We all got it. And for sides, we got lobster macaroni. Yeah, I know, some bougie shit. Lobster macaroni and cheese. And we got these luminaise potatoes or whatever, which honestly, hadn't tried them. They were fine. I prefer the mashed potatoes. I was actually expecting different, them to be done differently. Anyway. So we got our steaks. And my dad's face lit up. He's like, all right, let's try it. He's like, damn, that's a good steak. It was borderline, like, imagine a less exaggerated version of the Ratatouille, like, moment with the eyes. Like, it was like, if that moment was realistic, you know, where it's like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? Like that. And dude, he got mad. He finished his steak and he got mad. And I was like, what's wrong? And he's like, I'm pissed. I was like, what happened? He's like, I'm pissed that I'm full because I want to eat more because fuck, that was delicious. And I was like, hell yeah. All right. Hell yeah. I'm glad. That's, yo. And it was so funny because, like, I'm telling you, I dreamt about this steak. I'm not even kidding. I remember after the first time I went, I told Howard and Bill, I was like, bro, we got to go back. I have been salivating in my dreams over this steak. And this fucking morning, my dad, like, after he goes on a walk, he comes back. And I was like, hey, how'd you walk? And he was like, it was really good. I was like, yeah? He's like, yeah. Fuck. And I was like, what's wrong? And he's like, I'm still thinking about the steak. And I was like, hell yeah, dude. I was like, let's go, baby. And he's like, there's a Morton's in Florida. And I've driven past it, and I've never been like, I should try it. You know, I've never, but now, I'll always think about that steak. And I was like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Dude, it's a good ass steak. I'm telling you, if you go to Morton's, it is really funny. They, like, it is a fancier restaurant. It is expensive. So all of this to say, to go to the restaurant, my dad was full. Then we got this delicious dessert. It was like a toffee bread pudding. Delicious. With ice cream, right? Hayden wanted some. I'm scarfing this bitch down. And then the check comes. And my dad is going to pay for it. And I pull my hand out. And he's like, the hell are you doing? I was like, I'm gonna pay? He's like, Andate a la verga, you're not paying. If you don't know what andate a la verga is, andate a la verga is essentially go eat a dick. And he told me to go eat a dick. I'm paying. And I'm just like, what? And he's like, I am still your father. I am paying for this. You can pay for my meals when I'm 60. And Hayden can attest, as a witness, he even said, you're a witness. And he's like, when I'm 60, you can pay for my meals. And I was like, bet, I'll pay for your meal next year. And he's like, okay. And he's paying the chick a little bit pissed after I did. Like, dude, it was like the insult. The way this man said, he looked at my hand, looked at me, looked at the check, and looked back at me. Andate a la verga. I was like, bro. By the way, I did this with a spoon of food in my mouth. Like, I had the spoon in my mouth, like with the bread pudding, as I'm chewing, and the other hand, like, aiming at the check. Dad? And he's like, the fuck? Oh, man. It was really funny. So, yeah. Next year, I got the check, fellas. Remember that. Charkuki, thank you for the prime. With his whole chest,
Hi,
yeah.
Cy.
With his whole ass chest. It was really funny. But yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I've ever told this one, by the way. Surely I've told the first time I've ever cursed in my life, right? I've told that story. I've told that story on stream, right? Well, those were the exact words that I said. The story was when I was 3 years old, I told my nanny to, I always thought it was andate al infierno, which is go to hell. I thought that's what I told. Wait, you guys don't think HE double hockey sticks is the first time I cursed, right? Oh, okay. I'm gonna need to tell this story again. I was 3. I had a nanny, and one day, my mom came back, and the nanny was like, "Ay, señora, your son, he said a curse." And she goes, "He did? What did he say?" And she tells her. My mom comes to me in my room, and she's like, "Now, mijito, did you say this? What did you say to her?" For years, I thought I had told the nanny, andate al infierno, which is go to hell. What I actually said was, andate a la verga, which is the exact same thing my dad told me last night. Just for context of how I learned when I was 3 to say these words. So my mom's like, "That's what I thought." Okay. So my mom pulls out a spoon and she's like, "Here, mijito. This is medicine. It's medicina." And I was like, "Okay." Drink up the whole thing. Put it in your mouth. And I was like, "Okay." And my tongue starts to burn. And I was like, ¿Qué está pasando? What is this? What's going on? And my mom goes, "That's Tabasco hot sauce, mijito. If you ever curse again, you're gonna get more." And I was like, "Oh." And she said, I no te preocupes, mijito. Don't worry. Here, this will help. And she's like, "Open your mouth." And I'm like, "Yeah." And she pushes an ice cube on my tongue. And she's like, "Never again. Never curse again." And I'm pretty sure I still cursed afterwards. I mean, lo and behold. But just for context, if you're wondering where I learned the phrase, andate a la verga, last night is proof it was my father. And those are my dad's stories. And just in time, because I got a message from the Scuff Queen herself. What does that mean? Andate a la verga means go eat a dick. That's what it means.